Hi, welcome back to my cup of TV with Jenny.
Hello, Erin.
So more BTS. We were going to spin the wheel, but I'm going to overrule the wheel. I have that power. So we're going to watch chapter 2 of Rise of Bangtan. Just because I don't want to leave it too long, right between episodes. You want to?
I'm not mad about that because I loved it and I've now followed. I can't remember her name.
Anissa.
Oh, I followed her on Instagram. I really like her.
So do I, and Twitter and everything.
Yeah, I really like her, and I loved how she set up the last one. And I just think, you know, when you go into something like, I just know it's going to be really, really good and I'm going to like it. I already know that.
Yeah, the work that went into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm excited.
I'm sorry if you hear any odd noises. The cat's decided that now's bath time.
Oh.
I can hear him. Anyway, please remember to like the video, comment down below. What should we ask for the comments? Have you had a favourite chapter of Rise of Bangtan? Obviously, this is only number 2. Is there you have a favourite?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah. And subscribe to this channel if you're not already, so you don't miss out the BTS uploads and other K-pop uploads. Sometimes I just randomly stick extras in because I have the power. He-Man here, I have the power. Where it stopped was just before V.
Yeah, I was just thinking
actual debut.
Yeah. That had to have been so weird for him.
Yeah.
I closed my eyes for a long time. I've dreamed this dream. Life is a zoo in a jungle.
Oh no, so
We got to
little.
find and get our weapons to rumble.
The nose scrunch.
In BTS, we're the kids who are too cool for school and too bad to be good.
He looks so dangerous.
So I'm gonna fight.
I think to be like, we're too bad to be good, and it's like,
look.
but you're such sweethearts.
Rat monster.
I love that we get to see their awkward teenage face.
I know.
It's cold little ass.
And it's so well documented.
Oh.
안녕하세요. 일일 DJ를 맡은 방탄소년 되겠습니다. 안녕하세요. 일일 VJ를 맡은 방탄소년단의 맏형 진입니다. 지금부터 방탄소년단의 세계 매력에 빠져보도록 하겠습니다.
Making a debut after a long preparation, how can the singer and album make an appeal to the general public?
Korea has around 4,000 official labels / entertainment companies / businesses that make or produce albums.
K-pop is so competitive. You have hundreds of groups debut every year. And it's, maybe 1% is going to stay around for a few years.
Korea has a relatively small home market, so it has to think about developing a product that will appeal to
That's why they do
overseas
so much in
markets.
Japanese.
I
as
really
well.
do not like or appreciate that they try to pigeonhole like K-pop and like the Korean music industry as like this super like factory corporate like machine. Because where the hell do you think we got that from?
Up until a certain point, I think we were very much influenced by the Western. I'm not saying that it's right or that it's wrong, but it's just what needed to be done in order to branch out.
I mean, that's been around for a very, very long time, and it happens in everywhere else too. They only focus on like a few specific cases where that happens.
Yeah, but
and
that's a
then
worldwide
make it seem
thing.
like every single part of this scene here is like that.
There are systematic, rotten problems in the idol training system. The way that it's become like a simplified,
like most
generalized
things,
narrative
though.
about the dark side
Not
of
everything is
K-pop
good,
and
not
how
everything is
bland,
bad.
obvious statement seems to resonate in headlines.
People want to hear the big headline of the
There's a
negative.
problem in the way Western media perceive this new Asian culture.
There's a misconception that Korean industry is like somehow more corporate, and no, even if there are certain things that they have to do, like choreography and stuff like that, right? They still have enough room to, you know, write songs and be.
I think they have
Be creative.
some more
Back in the
freedom.
day, heavy metals and the rock stars, you know what I mean? They're kind of like K-pop now. You gotta understand the characters. They wear crazy makeup and all that hair, and so this is what's happening with K-pop. Rock stars reborn, you know what I mean?
So what is it like living as a K-pop star?
If you turn on the TV any day of the week here in Seoul, you'll find a K-pop show to watch. It's a weekly rapid-fire blast through the latest crop of K-pop acts. These artists are already signed to record labels, but it's a competitive show, a bit of a cross between Top of the Pops and X Factor. Winning can be a huge boost for any act.
Winners are selected through votes from the live audience as well as the viewers at home.
음악방송을 통해서 이제 홍보도 할 수 있고 또 그리고 생방송으로 보통 진행이 되기 때문에 사실 굉장히 좋은 기회고 홍보를 할 수 있는.
Yeah, we got to do everything you can to promote. Yeah. Oh, did you see the nose? So his name in his hair.
비비는 이런 거 영상에서는 안 돼요. 그냥 되게 제가 쑥스러워요.
Oh, bless him.
The rookie hip-hop group BTS are in the spotlight, and the members are waiting for their turn. Unlike other rookie stars, they greeted the camera in a relaxed way.
I'm just going to pause for a minute to deal with the cat who's attacking everything.
Mary, what are you doing?
작년 7월 10일 V의 첫 단독 무대 짝짝짝.
안녕하세요, V입니다. 나이는 19살이고요. 방탄에서 보컬을 맡고 있습니다.
사람들이 많이 놀랬던 것 같은데 6명 그룹일 줄 알았던 방탄이 7명 그룹이 7명이라서 오래전부터 멤버들이랑 같이 있었어요. 그리고 크리스마스 때도 같이 있었고 레몬 형 졸업 때도 갔고 단체로 찍을 때 6명만 나왔을 뿐이지 사실 나도 있었다. 나는 카메라에만 안 나왔을 뿐이지 벽에 기대서 무대를 계속 지그시 바라보고 있었다. 앞으로 많은 것을 보여드리는 방탄소년단의 V가 되겠습니다.
Oh,
the nerves.
And having the names, their name. Oh.
I know, I just said I wish they had name tags, but I'm really joking. Oh.
방탄소년단 드라이에서 그냥
That's rehearsal. Oh, performing this choreography live.
They're so good, those.
Yeah.
Oh, they're like,
yeah,
fight.
Mix of fight and nerves, though.
Yeah, and like almost like imposter syndrome. Like, oh, sorry, should we be here?
I suppose that once you've done it, it's like it's done now. If it wasn't good enough, like, oh, Joe.
잘해야 돼. 기회는 단 한 번.
Oh, the pressure of that.
지금 얼굴 풀로 잡고 있어요. 봤어요? 얼굴이 너무 가까이 잡지 마세요. 뭐라고 한마디 형 더 해줘요. 사랑이랑 방탄.
What's he just said?
That's his former K-pop group as well. It's the people who didn't last.
처음에는 쑥스러운 인사였지만 그래서 지금도 쑥스러워요.
Bless him. Oh, XO.
know we covered did that. Part of episode though.
Yeah, well, Kai's right.
Oh, that's
감사합니다.
그 데뷔전부터 있잖아요.
Oh, he looked like his eyes are so big.
오늘 엠카운트 다운에서 데뷔 무대를 가져요.
You've got to hope that when that music clicks in though, the nurse go.
Yeah.
A bit before this the worst.
And that you've rehearsed so much that just takes over.
Being the person to do the first bit of vocal though.
Yeah. Had to be all red.
Yeah. Oh.
We'll do our best to please show your love.
That's good though. I wonder if they had any idea what they were going to go on to do.
No, I don't think they would.
10대를 보내다가 부모님이 공무원에 뭔가 10대들에게 이제 정말 꿈이 뭐냐 이걸 물어보고 싶었어요 정말.
공부에 맞춰서 응원도 해주시고
Even then he's still. Oh, I love him.
Everyone, our song "No Retreat" was one of the top 3 most investing songs of the after-school club.
이 시대의 감정을 담다. 특히 젊은 사람들의 청년들이
Why has J-Hope got an Oscar for quite a few
안 되죠.
performances?
하는데 이거 꼭 고문이죠. 희망 고문이죠. 근데 그런 것들을 참 잘 담아요.
How do you dance like that on?
How is he
I
singing
love
with
how
it
they do
on?
that. Yeah, singing with it on. You can just
Yeah.
네, 너무 멋있어가지고. 너무 잘하는 거죠.
I love this.
I mean, they had to have something, and that was
Really impactful.
콘서트는 편견과 억압에서 이제 상당히 저희 세대의 생각
Oh.
가치를 지켜내겠다는 그런 심오한 뜻이 담겨있어요.
It is such a powerful message to come out with in your first song, though.
엄청난 포부를 저희가 또 갖고 있죠.
横断少年団の活動を応援しています。
We have big aspirations.
I wonder though, their aspirations, they said big, but were they as big as they ended up being, you know?
They're like, oh, it'd be a really big aspiration if, like, we get 2 albums or something.
Because, I mean, I'd be interested to see what they meant by big, what their expectation was for big.
Oh, I'm glad they came off like good. Yeah. No, all. You think we'll do better tomorrow?
But I suppose if you're performing the same thing over and over again, you have to believe you can do it better, otherwise you just get stale.
멤버들 연습 기간이요 3년 정도라고 들었습니다. 데뷔 전에 블로그를 통해서 직접 만든 프리스타일 랩, 자작곡도 올리고 기존 곡 위에 랩을 얹어 새로운 편곡한 믹스테이프도 뭐 올리고 굉장히 이슈가 됐었습니다. 요거는 누가 많이 했었던 건가요?
저와 랩몬스터가 가장 많이 했는데요. 블로그를 통해서 네 자작곡도 많이 공개하고 또 저희들이 로그라는 저희들이 하루 일지 같은 영상을 찍어서 매번 이 영상을 블로그를 통해서 올리고 하고 있었어요.
아 직접이요?
네, 편집은 안 하고 그냥 영상을 찍어서 바로 올렸어요.
아 그냥 올렸어요?
That's a bit of a game changer for them. Just.
아 그때부터
네.
그래서 연관 검색어에 데뷔 언제 해?
데뷔를 하고 이제 처음 학교를 간 적이
So strange to see so much stuff before they've even debuted.
Yeah. 하고 이제 데뷔를 했고 이제 친구들의 반응이 궁금해서 잔뜩 그래서 이제 내가 원하지 않는 그런 이미찬 반응들. 평범한 반응들. 진짜 왔어? 이런 평범한 일상의 반응들.
That in a way that's could be quite good.
씁쓸한 현실이
Yeah, but
그런 날이 있었는데.
when you feel like you've achieved something.
Yeah.
우리가 막 그런 걸 마음을 못 깔 때예요. 방송을 막 사람 다 차있으면 우리 못 나가고 그럴 때도 있었죠.
또 요즘은 진짜 많이 느끼는데 뭔가 말의 심각성, 말의 중요성에 대해서 많이 느낀다. 정말 얼마 안 되는 네임밸류지만 인식의 공격도 많이 받았었고.
Your name's worth so much.
뭐 일방적으로
Even if you're not famous, you're right.
비난들 정말 앞으로 얼마나 많이 받을지 모르지만 얼마나 많이 받겠지만 너무 많이 받겠지만 괜찮고 날 까고 수많은 찬사와 수많은 비난을 받겠지만 항상 당당하고 항상 나는 이런 사람이고 난 진짜 괜찮은 사람 우리는 진짜 괜찮은 팀이라는 걸 꼭 강의시켜주고 싶다.
이제 와서 무슨 학생들의 반항 같은 이야기를 컨셉으로 들고 나오냐. 철진한 컨셉이다. 비판도 굉장히 많이 받았던 것 같습니다. 그렇지만 저는 그들이 자신의 이야기를 하는 것이 무엇보다 중요하다고 생각했습니다.
I think this whole lyric is actually a message to me in the past. When I was a middle school student, I studied really well, and I was a really smart and good student in the school. When I studied well and I got a good score, and the adults and parents just praised me. And the adults told me that you will success. But I had no dream. I had no dreams.
꿈을 꾸는 평범한 학생이었던 친구들이 아이돌로 데뷔를 하고 꿈과 다른 현실에 좌절도 하고 점점 스타가 되어가는 여러 과정을 거치면서 그들이 가졌던 진솔한 고민들이 음악에 담겨졌습니다. 이렇게 그들의 내면을 표현한 메시지가 같은 마음에 닿았고
Is that a little Disney thing?
It's like Disney princesses, yeah.
너무 바쁘고 힘들지만 내 꿈을 이뤄가고 있고 뭔가 이 시발점에서 첫걸음을 잘 내딛는 것 같아서 기분이 너무 좋다. 나는 그래서 현실을 좀 즐기면서 동시에 바쁘고 열심히 살려고 한다. 그렇게 살면 참 힘들겠지 몸이. 아무튼 그런 사람이 되고 싶고 곧 멋진 음악으로 또 팬분들, 대중분들 찾아뵙고 싶다. 앞으로도 열심히 살고 또 열심히 바쁘게 살 것이다.
You said very busy.
정말 진짜로 너무너무 중요한 하루가 될 것 같아서 기분이 너무 좋다. 화이팅!
That's such a lovely smile.
방탄소년단 화이팅! 뜨거웠다. 아무튼 블로그 끝.
Imagine going to a fan sign.
2013년 1월 28일 진행했지.
When I see the dates, I'm like, what was I doing then?
했습니다. 많은 분들이 와주셔서 편지도 주시고 하이파이브도 하고 정말 생각보다 너무 많은 분들이 와주셔서 너무 감사합니다.
정말 팬분들이랑 1대1로 얘기하는 시간이 너무 좋았어요. 많은 뮤직처럼 얘기하는 걸 좋아하셔서 정말 기분이 좋았어요.
우와.
안녕하세요.
한 번도 안 해봤어요.
한 번도 안 해봤어요.
나안 해봤어.
안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. 주민이에요.
없습니다. 잘한 것 같아요. 굉장히 정말 축복받고 너무너무 운 좋고 내가 하고 싶어 내가 잘할 수 있고 내가 사람들한테 보여주고 싶은 거 삶을 살 수 있다는 게 정말 너무너무 축복받는 일인 것 같고 항상 감사하고 팬분들께 정말 기쁘게 해야 될 것 같다. 7월 24일 웨마스터의 로드 끝.
Just such a lovely smile. I can't go for it.
방탄 없으면 사는 게 재미가 없다. 전 여러분들이 없으면
He's been a forever flirt, that man.
항상 지민이만 본다고 생각하시죠? 저안 들어봤어요.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Beautiful.
오늘 아쉬운 소식 들었는데 막방이라고. 근데 이거 이제 활동 마무리하면서 스스로들한테 점수를 준다면
50점 주겠습니다. 네, 앞으로 채워갈 50점입니다.
Oh, very good.
수고하셨습니다. 수고하셨습니다.
네, 그 전에 2014년 가장 핫한 신인 그룹 방탄소년단이 성공적인 데뷔를 마치고 오늘 굿바이 무대를 가진다고 합니다. 그럼 함께 불러볼까요? 굿바이 방탄소년단!
Oh, it still gives me goosebumps.
Where do you discover you have this skill?
That choreography though. They feel like they have a bit more confidence though, like if you've been doing it, getting a good reception.
I feel like I've just spent this whole episode going, oh bless me.
I know, but it's just...
2014년 7월 28일 제2벨로로 이제 우리의 첫 앨범 투쿨 포스쿨의 앨범 활동도 이제 끝마치게 됐는데
Still, the way he is, but stick out from under his hat.
지금 다음 앨범 준비에
I try and
작업에 안무에 화보 촬영에 정말 요즘 몸이 한계인 게 굉장히 슬플 정도로 바쁘게 타이트한 스케줄 소화하고 있는데 너무너무 즐겁고 행복합니다.
It just makes me think they deserve this time now more than ever.
그래도 정말 너무너무 즐겁고 행복합니다. 2014년 8월 10일
Isn't that just the most beautiful thing you've ever seen?
방탄소년단은 앨범 준비에 들어가면 연습이 곧 공식
I want to hug him
스케줄입니다.
so hard.
연습에만 몰두할 수 있도록 다른 활동은 거의 정지하죠. 그렇다면 시간 단위로 경제적 가치를 창출하는 방탄소년단 입장에서 큰 손해가 아니냐고 생각하시는 분들이 계실지도 모르겠습니다. 처음 방탄소년단 멤버들과 만났을 때부터 지금까지 우리가 가장 중요하게 생각했던 게 스스로 부끄럽지 않을 수 있을 만큼의 완성도였고 이것을 위해서는 어떤 손해도 감수할 수 있다는 마음가짐으로 준비에 임합니다. 결국 우리가 함께 해온 일들은 우리가 앞서 했던 것보다 조금 더 나은, 조금 더 완성도 높은 컨텐츠를 선보이기 위한 여정이었습니다.
You can just stand from inside mentally, but you can still feel your heart beating. What you waiting for?
2013년 8월 16일 전국에 어느 시간에 물론 늘어났다.
Have we seen whatever
I
this
think
is?
we have. Yeah. We have, we did this early on. It's over on Patreon with the Navy one.
Yes! Yes.
누구나 지금 감기에 걸려있다. 고통스럽다. 힘들다. 솔직히 많이 드는데 아주 많이 들어서 안 드는 동작들이 조금 많다. 그걸 열심히 해서 문제를 바로 시작했다. 기대도 좋다. 2013년 8월 16일 전국에 끝.
You never hear them say, I've done all I can do.
Yeah.
Never.
Oh, that was such a not nice feeling.
Especially when you've just done all that and you're exhausted.
Yeah. And you feel like so you're making others redo it as well then.
아까 일단 성 테이프에 맞춘 거거든요. 아까는.
뭐가 문제예요, 내가?
성 테이프에 맞추는데.
아, 지금 뭐 하는 거야 지금? 이 정도로. 네가 잘했는데 다른 사람이 다 틀렸다 생각하니 네가 아직도? 왜 그래? 잘해. 사람 좋고. 중어. 중어 안 해도 삐졌나? 뭐 한수 있냐?
조금만 오른쪽으로 가면 돼. 조금만.
I wanted him up. Oh, he's so nice. Joking.
I'm joking, might actually make me cry.
I was getting really angry watching that.
But I can understand, but also, oh. Is he crying? Oh, bless him. Thank you for being born.
연기가 진짜인 줄 알았어요. 감독님도 다 연기하신 거예요?
Oh, he's still worrying.
비에로그 오늘은 뮤비를 찍었다. 세트장이 정말 마음에 들었다. 개인적으로 노멀 드림 때보다
Imagine that he like flipped out, but he was just like, oh, I'm sorry.
게 벅차.
Yes.
정말 진짜 맛있었다. 세 그릇 먹고 체해갖고.
하지만 빨리 우리가 뮤비를 찍고 어떤 모습으로 나오게 될지 궁금한 건 마찬가지인 것 같다. 다들 이제 멤버들 전부 파이팅 넘치게 연습을 하고 있기 때문에 그걸 보고 있으면 되게 나도 파이팅! 올라서 더 열심히 할 수 있게 되는 것 같다. 지지 않겠어. 2013년 8월 23일 진해로그 끝!
I love that they still find time to come in and do this. Like, he could be having a nap, he could be watching something on TV.
노아 앨범에서 정말 더 빵 시들어서
하는 부담감이 기억나고
예전은 즐겁다고 생각한 점은 많이 없었던 것 같아요. 밑에 박수 잠깐만요.
Stuff gas.
어때? 앞으로 직접 해봐야지.
You drink.
아까
정말 이거는 팬 여러분들입니다.
That went really quickly. I was like, that wasn't half an hour.
It's amazing to watch back and just be like, you don't even know.
I don't know. I think as much as you're like, oh, wish I'd been there from the start, it's so nice to watch it back and see, knowing what we know.
Yeah.
And without the anxiety of, oh, what they do, what's going to happen, we know.
Yeah, could you imagine what it's like when a group debuts and maybe you just fall in love with them, and then if they don't make it?
It's like when they cancel TV shows after one season and you love them and you're like, I've signed petitions before. I'm like, bring them back to me. That must be so hard, and especially for something that is like, I would say, quite dominating as like music and
clearly, because they were saying like pretty much every night there was a show on,
and then if you're
people performing,
and if you don't make it through, like, are you watching to have gotten so close?
And the pressure, can you imagine if you made one mistake on one of those shows?
Oh, and there's so many little things that can go wrong. watch those shows though.
What, and all the debut
Yeah,
acts?
I wonder if we can watch it here. Does anyone know? Can we watch it
Anyone
here?
know where we can be watching this?
Yeah, I'd love to, because it'd be interesting just to see what comes out and the types of music, because obviously it takes us a while over here to get it.
So JK's birthday, I was biting my tongue because I was so angry at what he was saying to him. I think it was more the way it was being said. And what broke my heart was like, he was like, I was on the mark. You know, for him to argue back, he genuinely believes he was doing it right. You know, he doesn't know what else he can do.
I can understand though, if you're saying, we're all telling you you're off.
Yeah.
We're from here, we can see that. Are you saying that we're all wrong? Especially if you've got all the other members that are time pressured, all the crew and everything, and the money and whatever, and you're like, I'm telling you, you're not. I'm so glad it wasn't like, oh, harsh though.
It broke my heart.
Oh, she must have been like, it's like dropped him before picking him back up.
Yeah, especially because, like I said, you never hear them say, well, I've done all I can do now, or well, I've done my best, what more can you do? Because, you know, here we do have that a bit. Again, I think it's for mental health reasons. You have done your best.
Yeah.
At some point you have to say, I've done my best. If that's not enough, then that's not enough. But I know I did everything I could do. Whereas I feel like, right or wrong, their mentality is very much, no, I can always do better.
So that when I realised that was when we watched the 3J Butter things, and because I remember when we first watched it, we were like, I bet they did that in 5 minutes, and I felt awful having said that, seeing and like coming back the next day, and just the like anxiety and the stress, and this was
exhausted they were.
Yeah, and they didn't have to do it.
No.
And I can understand right at the beginning, but I hope that they understand now that they might always want to do like the best, but sometimes the best is like never going to feel good enough to you, and we love everything.
That's what I mean, we could watch something that we see as perfect and they'll pick out the tiniest little thing. Proof in this though that Yoongi's literally the most beautiful thing, like from debut.
Do you feel like his personality has changed quite a bit? Because the clips we're seeing here, he seems quite
hyper, like really,
and outgoing. But do you think that might be where he's trying to like bolster up the group?
Yeah, I think that's where he's, and maybe it's that hunger, like I'm gonna get this, it's going well. Whereas now I think he's a bit more comfortable in, I've made it, I know what I'm doing, I'm still working hard, but I don't have as much fear maybe.
Yeah, like maybe the adrenaline isn't like as going.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they still have fears around what they're doing, but probably different fears, because he knows that unless there was, you know, some huge scandal or something, he's not just going to be, you're done, bye.
Yeah.
You know, he knows that's not going to happen because he has army.
I wonder if the fear, instead of the fear of failure, just becomes the fear of becoming like irrelevant, like old news fading out.
I bet the fear is letting people down. Like I said, it could just be like a scandal. So all of them probably have that fear of letting people down, you know, doing something considered unforgivable, or, you know, even something that's not true. We've seen how people can be ruined with accusations or cancel culture, you know.
These videos are put together so well.
They really are, yeah. You really feel like you're watching it unfold as it happens.
And when I thought what we were going to be watching would just be like just about them, but it's learning about the culture, and like I'm getting to see so many different things that I didn't know.
Well, I think it's, you can't fully understand the journey if you don't understand the context around it.
How she writes and it blows my mind. I'm imagining a big board with like all like the red lines across like this connects
a
into
timeline
this
and adding in all this, like these interviews that happened and these news things that happened, and
but then putting in clips or like voiceovers that explain things that maybe weren't from that time but are relevant because it's discussing it. And oh my god,
there are some
phenomenal.
very good points in that about the K-pop industry and how it can be viewed by the West, where we did talk about in the last one that is it really any different to what we see here with sports people?
No,
it's not. Get them in young and start training them, and it's hard, and it's, you know.
And there will be some groups and some labels and bits that do meet that, and they are manufactured, and there will be the very negative sides, and there'll be some aspects that, you know, we might not agree with, even if it's not awful, just stuff that we might say that's not what we might
I'm not
think.
okay with that.
Yeah. But it is bad that actually that is what's blasted around.
Yeah, people only want to. But saying that, that's the news in general. I don't know whether it's the same in other countries, but here the news is every negative thing. At the end, they might put in one small little story like, "Hey, this kitten saved a baby." You know, this tiny little thing on the end, but they tell you all the bad stuff.
Or it'll be clickbait. But I can't help wondering if some of it is racially motivated.
Yeah, I think for Western media, it's that's K-pop. It's other, and it's like actually the music industry as a whole does all this. But I know we talked about in the last episode the issue around weight. That's an issue in every country, in every music industry.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure I'm saying that not even in just the music industry. Every person has been fat shamed or had comments on their weight, regardless of how big or small they are. At some point in their life, someone has commented on your weight in a negative way.
Sometimes they don't even appreciate that it's like oh, you should have something, you're a bit skinny.
I used to get that as a kid all the time, and I was so paranoid.
It's awful, but how, when they say about the production stuff, how is that any different from like what they do with the groups in X Factor? Like they put them together, they give them clothes, they train them, they teach them stuff.
Yeah. When it comes to a group, I think there's always going to be some form of manufacture. It's very rare now for a group to form themselves and go to a record label. I think it's much more common for people to go to record labels to be put into a group.
And I feel like those groups last longer.
I don't have a problem with that. As long as they are being genuine to themselves. And I think the difference from the West with K-pop is, I don't know whether that's all over, because I know we're mainly looking at BTS and what they do, and I'd say probably Stray Kids that we know of. They have much more control and creativity in their own music than I think a lot of Western artists do. I even said this on my reaction to J-Hope Arson, that he's gone in his own direction, do something completely different. I think in the Western music, it would be, no, this is your target demographic. They won't like that style, so stick with this.
Well, and I know Taylor Swift's not your jam, but it's like,
I don't want some of her music. I don't know what it is, but she writes her own stuff, and I respect that.
So a lot of the thing what they said to her is, oh, you can't go from country to pop. Why can't you?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, here I am doing it, and that's just such a small, tiny step.
Yeah.
And even that's judged and like you're boxed in. It's like picking your career at 16, and that's it. That's your lane forever now, and it shouldn't be like that.
I think there are a couple of artists I think that have done a bit of different genres, and that's because they're big enough, and I think they are strong enough because they're big enough to put their foot down. Someone like Ed Sheeran, I think, and say, no, I'm going to do this rap song with this person because I'm going to do that. I'm going to sing this beautiful folk song.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that because that's what I want to do. Certain people are there, but how many people, especially in groups, because it's a group of people having to.
And some people might not want to. They might if you're a rock band and you love rock music, you might just want to be a rock band. You might not want to start rapping on the side or.
But I just feel like K-pop seems to give them more freedom to explore their own creativity than I think Western music does.
Yeah, I do want to. I think watching a debut show would be brilliant for us because it should give us such a range of the different styles of music. Because obviously it takes we pick a group, we go into a group.
Yeah.
And that's a lot, but to just watch a show, we'll get to see loads of different bits.
There's questions for you. How does this work? Is there a certain month or day where everyone debuts? Because they said like they've done their first year, so they like do that for a whole year. Do you know what I mean? Doing debut shows? Do they all start at the same time? Because you could have someone on that show that debuted 6 months ago and there's someone else who's new debuting now. Do you know what I mean? How does it
I feel like
work?
The way it was working is you choose your debut date and then you go on the debut shows, or because people might be like debuting albums maybe, not just like brand new bands, and so you get a cycle of new group, like
because the girls were saying like about goodbye to BTS as though they've done their year now and so now they move on,
but she said like we'll see like welcome back soon, so it might just be whatever you debut.
So although that might have been because they said, wasn't Bang PD saying about how they took like a break to do their new music and come back, whereas most people would have just continued through because he wanted to make sure it was really good quality. And it's like, I love the idea of nothing we would be embarrassed about in the future.
Yeah.
As though even if we don't make it, at least we did ourselves proud and we know what we did was good.
Because I guess you could just be like, right, we need to ride the traction, like next thing. But if they're like, nope, we wait and then we do the
Or again, they could have easily been like, this style of music is hot right now, let's do loads of that. Or this, now it's this, let's do loads of, and just jump from bandwagon to bandwagon rather than going like, this is what we're going to do, this is us. And do it that way.
Oh, I just love it so much. Yeah. Oh, lots of information.
I know.
You guys looking on, please.
Yeah.
I'm relying on you all.
Right, okay, so the next video we do will be the deleted scenes from this chapter.
Oh.
I know. I would put it in the same video, but it's already super long.
Yeah, that's we chat.
A long video plus us.
Oh.
Okay, so that was our reaction to chapter 2 of Rise of Bangtan. Thanks for watching and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.